Hi there, and welcome to Draw With Me. I'm Danny Gregory, and that was Twiglet, and we're here to have some fun, to do some drawing. As you saw last week, we did various kind of coffee vessels, and it was a lot of drawings, and a lot of drawings within each drawing, which is nice to see. So today is going to be a special episode. We're going to do something different. We're going to have a guest on, which has been ages since we've had a guest. And that is going to be coming up in a couple minutes. I was going to say a very special episode. Do you remember when they had that in, I guess back when I was in high school, and they would have your favorite show, and they would say, and this week, a very special episode. And that usually meant that like somebody had died or somebody had become a drug addict or something controversial was going to be discussed. Well, it's not this week. We're going to talk about art supplies, hopefully non-controversially. But let me just tell you about a couple of things that are exciting that are coming up. One of them is the Drawathon. I think I mentioned that to you before, but it's going to be this Saturday, day after tomorrow, starting at 6 in the morning till 6 in the evening. It's open to everybody. You're welcome to come and join us. You don't have to draw for 12 hours unless you want to. You can come for any time you want. We're going to have lots of different guests who are going to be giving us prompts and playing music and doing all kinds of stuff to keep us busy and company while we are drawing. If you can't think of what to draw, we're going to have thousands of ideas for you. And if you ever wanted to just like kind of hunker down and work on a single project or try a whole big series of things, this is the opportunity to do that and have a bunch of people around you who are doing the same thing. So if you'd like to join us, it's going to be on a Zoom thing, and you can turn on your camera or not turn on your camera. You can chat with other people. You can talk with other people. You can just keep your head down and make work. But if you'd like information about it, info@sketchbookschool.com. Write to us. Tell us, hey, can you just send me the information about that? And we'll just send you the Zoom link. We don't want to put it on YouTube for obvious reasons. So, but everybody is invited. You can ask somebody to do it with you if you want to, and we'll give them the information too. So that's cool. Saturday, 6 in the morning Pacific Daylight Time. We have a new workshop coming up that we're very excited about, coming up in a couple of weeks, Yummy Color. And it is going to be an opportunity to really learn how to combine art supplies, which is part of what we're going to be doing today. Combining different art supplies to create vibrant effects and to just have fun creating something densely layered. It's going to be a really cool workshop. If you want to find out more about it, school.tiny.us/yum. Go there and you can find out more information, and it is being sponsored by Derwent. So that workshop is being presented, and the instructor is a phenomenal teacher named Lindsay Weirich, who is has an incredible channel here on YouTube as well called The Frugal Crafter. And Lindsay is going to be our guest today, and we're going to draw with Lindsay, and we're going to talk about art supplies. We're going to have fun. Let me just forewarn you, you're going to be able to use all those art supplies that have been lying around in boxes or drawers or cupboards. Start dragging them out into the room, because we're going to go through a lot of art supplies today. That's going to be what the fun of this exercises today. We're doing what we call an art supply relay. What does that mean? I'll tell you in a minute. And trust me, it's going to be a blast. Lindsay's also on the Art for All podcast this week. And she and I had a great conversation about shopping and shopping for art supplies, and just what does it mean to love art supplies? What does that mean as an artist, as a person? Looking for bargains, looking for new things. We talked about all kinds of stuff. And you can find that wherever you listen to podcasts, or you can go to artforall.buzzsprout.com. You can also listen to it here on our YouTube channel, because we record video of our podcast interviews, and Lindsay and I are there in all our glory on camera, so you can see us while we're talking. And without further ado, Lindsay, are you ready for your close-up? Yes, there she
Yes,
is.
hello.
There she is. So let me. So Lindsay is she's used to being on camera, right? You're on camera almost every day, aren't you? You do stuff all the time.
Yes, yep. I mostly daily, but not always. I don't always have my face on camera, only probably once or twice a week for that. But
What do you have?
um,
Other
yeah.
body parts? Your
Mostly my
feet? Your
hands. It's mostly, oh my gosh, it's mostly my desk.
okay, okay, that's good. It's nice to see you when you're making art, though, to see your enthusiasm because I know you love making art, right? How did you come to make art? Did you go to art school? Have you always been an artist?
No, I didn't go to art school. I would have loved to, but when it came to college time, my parents didn't think that was a very viable option. So I went to broadcasting school actually.
Oh,
But yeah, I started painting as a child, just kind of on my own. But I lived across the field from a wonderful watercolor painter named Pauline Turner. And my parents asked about art lessons from her because she did teach kids. And generally, she didn't start them until they were 7. I was 5, and she looked at some of my work and decided to teach me drawing. And you had to start with drawing with her. It was non-negotiable. And then after you did drawing for a couple of years, you could go to watercolor, and that's the path I did until I was about 13. And then I was just more experimental and probably a big pain in the behind. And I decided to do my own thing because I was a rebellious teenager. And yeah, that's kind of how it goes. And I just would take a workshop here or there, or just mostly just a lot of exploring on my own. But I hate to use the term self-taught because I don't think that's an accurate term, because you take so much from if you're reading from a book or watching a video or taking a class, you're taking influences from all over the world. I mean, it may be self-initiated, but I don't think it's really self-taught, because that's kind of not giving credit to the people that put that work out there to begin with. But I don't have an art school education, I should say.
and yet you're still allowed to do it. You don't need to. You don't
I
need to.
know.
You don't need to be licensed by the state or have some sheepskin hanging on the wall. No, I also think it's kind of on the flip side of that. As an artist, we're always learning, right? We're always being self-taught. So you might have gone to art school, but the idea that your art education ended when you were 22 or something, is nonsense. You keep learning new stuff, making new stuff, trying new stuff, trying new materials, being influenced and inspired by other people, changing your ideas. It's not like you know, get there. You never get there as an artist, right? It's a journey.
Right. Once you stop growing, you start dying. You've got to always be trying new things and exploring. I mean, you even look at the great painters, the most famous painters in the world, and they always take off roads. They try different materials. They try different styles. They're always growing, and they don't really care what is going to be trendy. They're just going to go where their interests lead them. Otherwise, you're going to get burnt out if you get tired of doing the same thing every day, which is really easy to happen. I think if you teach, you can get burnt out, because you've got to make sure you're growing your skills. Because if you stay in that same level of what you're teaching all the time, you're going to get tired of it and burnt out. And then you're not going to have the enthusiasm to offer your students, and you might even resent them. So you always have to be growing.
That's a good point. I think we've all seen this sort of bitter art teacher, right? The high school art teacher who's just like taught the same lesson plans for years and doesn't get to do their own stuff. I was talking to a friend yesterday who's an art teacher, and she said, "I just want to take some time to make my own art because it also makes me a better teacher." So I think it's a common thing that we kind of get into a rut that we can get into. Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. So let's talk about what we're going to do this today. Once I stop choking, my thought was, and we haven't done this in a long time, is an art supply relay is basically you pick any, I mean, gather all your stuff around you. I actually just got a second cart. So, and I have 2 carts at the ready within arm's length from my table here. Get all different kinds of stuff. It could be colored pencils, watercolors, markers, ink, whatever it is that you want to have. And we're going to set a timer, and then every couple of minutes, the timer will go off. And at that minute, you have to stop what you're doing and grab something else. I kind of think it's cool to grab something random, but it might be, it might be a different color. You might say, you know what, I want to work in 5 different kinds of red, and I want to do watercolor red and colored pencil red and marker red, and but you might want to do that, or you might want to grab just anything, just kind of clutch and go, oh, okay, I can't with a pencil, so I'm going to work with that, and then I came up with a bottle of white ink. Now what am I going to do with it? So you never quite know what you'll come up with. But it's an opportunity to just play. And sometimes it can be frustrating because you can be in the middle of working with something, the bell goes off, you've got to put it down. And it's also kind of difficult to plan out exactly how it's going to go because you never know whether, are you going to have time for it to dry? Are you going to have time? Are you going to cover enough of an area? So we may end up with a mess. I hope you're okay with that, Lindsay.
I'm fine with a mess. My paintings always go through a hot mess stage. So if they end that way, that'll be fine.
Right. Okay. And it's 2.5 minutes. It's not going to be hugely fast. We could make it shorter. Do you want to make it shorter? I could make it shorter.
Well, I'm working on a 9x12. What size are you working on?
Yeah, basically the same size, 9x12.
Whatever you think. Whatever you think is fine.
Let's go 2 minutes. I'm gonna change it to 2 minutes. I think that's what I'm feeling. I think so we can really. Okay, so here's what we're gonna draw. Some gourds. It's the time. This is JJ's suggestion. She said draw gourds. She wanted us to draw that kind of that special colored corn, what's called Mexican corn. And I couldn't. Yeah, I think this is enough. These gourds are really interesting. They're great colors. They're great textures. I've never drawn a gourd before. I'm sure you have. Have you?
Yeah. Yep. I always pick some up at the supermarket this time of year and use them. I bring them into classes and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, they're really beautiful. So if you want to download this picture for some reason, there's the URL to do it. But I think this will be nice. And as you can, and again, don't feel like you have to use orange, white, gray, green, whatever. You can use any colors you want. You can do, I just think there's a lot of interesting textures. It will be cool. All right. As Jen says, gorgeous. Yes, it will be gorgeous.
I love the pun. That's so good.
That is a good pun. And yeah, or you could use gouache on your gourds. Whatever, we'll see. We'll come up with something cool. First of all, let me go ahead here. I want to change this timer though. Okay, so I'm going to change the timer. Don't worry, you'll have a second. I'm going to get it. Okay, we're going to start again. Here we go. So take a deep breath. Get ready to start grabbing stuff. I have lots and lots and lots of boxes of colored pencils right now, so I may have to go. I may have to start there. So you might want to kind of at least open the containers. But the rule is one thing, one red pencil, one. I'm not sure what you do with watercolor.
Like I can just have one marker and not like a handful of markers, just one marker for the 2 minutes.
Maybe, yeah.
One marker? Okay. I got to choose wisely.
I know, exactly.
All right.
But don't choose too hard because the randomness is good. Now, what do we do when we have a palette of watercolors, though?
See, I was thinking that's like one supply, like that set of watercolors is one supply or a set of pastels is one supply.
We could do it that way if you want.
That's what I was thinking, but I don't care. I don't care.
Okay. Well, let's see. Okay. I think it'll be more interesting if we're using all watercolors, right? Because then we'll get more colors in there. So let's do it that way. Let's try it your way. And if it's an utter failure, then you're completely responsible.
Yeah, I'll take full responsibility.
All right, here we go, guys. Yeah, some people are having a problem with this download. There shouldn't be. This is a website with gazillions of pictures on it. You should be able to find something. But don't worry. Just use this thing on screen. We'll show it on screen the whole time. And we'll figure it out later. Here we go. All right, you got 2 minutes. All right, so you'll be able to see my screen. It was too technically complicated for us to sort of to have Lindsay's screen on this, unfortunately, but we will get to see where Lindsay's at on every given increment of the journey. And Lindsay, you probably have developed the skill of being able to talk and draw at the same time, right?
Pretty well, yeah. I
Yeah.
have the gift for gab, I guess. I always get in trouble at school for talking, so
Well, feel free to
second.
gab away.
Oh,
So, what are you using first? What's your first?
I am using a brush tip alcohol marker,
Okay,
and I figure that um, that'll give me a nice thin flat layer that will dry quick, so I won't
that's
have
smart.
problems
Yeah, I was
with a
probably
build over
originally
it.
thinking that I would just do like lay down some big splashes of watercolor that I could then do in the background. But for some reason, I picked up this brown pencil. I'm not sure why I
Uh-huh.
picked up a brown pencil, but I did. And now I'm just kind of drawing the whole thing to just have, I don't know. Again, not really the way that I work normally. Normally, I don't do like an overall sketch, but for some reason, that's what moved me today. So,
I've switched to a black marker though because I want to put in some deep background shadows, but I'm kind of like don't know if that was a wise decision because I know that countdown. I'm not even looking at the
you
countdown
got
timer
11
because I know
seconds. All right, you're in trouble now.
I'm not in trouble. I got this, Danny. Don't you
Okay.
worry one single bit.
All right, good. All right, that was it. Let's see what you got. Oh my God, you did the whole thing. Awesome. All right, good. So that's alcohol markers, which means you can
Yeah.
slather stuff on top, right?
Oh
Without
yes.
fear of impunity. Okay.
Big brush, baby.
All right. Let's get out your next thing. What's it?
Oh, I
What are
got
we
it.
in?
I'm ready. I'm going to use Derwent Inktense pan paints.
Oh, the pan paints. That's cool.
Love their pan paints.
I'm gonna go just whatever comes up on my watercolor palette. All right, here we go.
All right.
Yikes.
I'm just like base coat and color. I'm trying to cover as much ground as possible so I'll be able to finish a 9 by 12 in this amount of time, or at least attempt to.
Yeah, I'm trying to put down some base coat as well. I like the base coat idea. Sounds like primer or something.
Start broad and refine. That's how I've been doing Inktober. I don't know if you do Inktober or not, but I've been doing Inktober, and I like to actually sketch with the lighter shades of alcohol marker, and then I don't fine line till the end because I'm always reworking it until I get to the point where um, where I want to add that fine line design.
Do you find that you have like a definite sequence when you do something?
Well, I do for the point that I don't want my work to like disintegrate over the years. Not that I think it's like, bound for posterity or anything, but I don't want things flaking off and like, smearing around in my sketchbook, or if I sell it, I don't want it to like, come apart on somebody. So I do work the fat over lean basically. And even with mixed media, I'll work with, I want to keep the stuff that is thinner, faster drying on the bottom, and the stuff that's more mushier on top, just as a design principle and just as an archivability principle.
Yeah, I
What
tend to
about you?
work in a sketchbook, so I never really care about archival stuff. But I mean, my my, my heirs might feel differently about it. But okay, so
Yeah.
we're down. Oh God, I'm not even sure what I'm doing. But yes, that's very nice.
Thanks. I got some color anyway.
All right, so we've got kind of some structure now. Um,
Can I dry while you're chatting?
do it, yeah. I'm gonna just tamp. Right. What next? I think I'm gonna use the. How about intense blocks? Is that you used the pan paints though, right?
Yep. Yeah, the blocks are very similar. You can use them like the pan paints, just grab a brush.
Right, because you can also activate them with water, right?
Oh, yeah. Would it be cheating for me to use the Inktense blocks too, like as drawing tools, or?
No, yeah. There is no cheating. This is art. All right, here we go.
Okay.
Are you ready? You
Oh,
got
I
your
gotta grab
hair.
the Inktense. Luckily, I have them right here.
Put your
Okay,
hair
got them right
dryer
here.
and your curlers away. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. All right. Yikes.
Oh, this is gonna work. Ah! This is a little stressful, Danny.
I know. Art is meant to be stressful. This is not relaxation. This is serious business.
Oh, but this gives me another idea though, because if I use the Inktense blocks here, I can go in with water-based markers and kind of activate some of the Inktense
Oh, that's interesting. So
marking.
you'd activate them not with water, but
With
with.
I'm going to use some brush tip, some real brush pens. I think they're the markers that have the brush bristles.
Well, is that gonna? Does that? Will it ruin them by putting other stuff on it?
No, because it's not like a felt tip. It doesn't grab
It doesn't
it
absorb
doesn't
it.
suck up any of the material. They stay on the bristles, and then
You can just wipe them off.
you can just wipe them off.
All right, you got a minute left.
Oh, goodness
It's
gracious,
moving
all the
more.
time in the world.
It's moving more quickly now.
Maybe this could be like the life drawing classes where like your sketches, your times would get longer. You start off with like the 30-second ones, and then they'd get longer as you go.
Possibly. I don't have the technology for that right now.
So your
But
timer can only
yes.
do 2 minutes.
No, my timer can do it all. My timer, I have all the timer in the world.
What's the technology you're missing then?
Some person who's going to say, all right, now making it this much longer and that much longer and all those kinds of things. So, yeah, I'm doing a drawing that doesn't look like I made it, which is kind of weird. So,
It's probably the subject matter. If you gourds are a very I don't know, a very different subject matter than what you usually do. I think,
that
isn't
could
it?
be. That could be.
I don't know if it's getting
Interesting.
bleached out or
So,
not. Ah,
so you're
here's
adding more
another.
definition now and you're adding some
Yeah.
texture with it. Okay. So let's see what happens now with the brushes. Oh, you're going to
I
use them.
have my whole box of them over here. Oh my gosh. It's part of my display. It's part of the display in my art room. So I'm just gonna have to keep it on my lap. But this is my thing of
Oh, so you have
water-based
a.
mark.
I don't. That's cheating. That does not qualify as one material.
Oh, give me a break. I can't use them all. I got 2 minutes. Okay, let me just grab out a couple of them.
All right, I'm gonna. Oh boy.
Cheating. What happened to this no cheating in art, Danny? I feel like you're giving me a whole other tale here.
All right, here we go. You
All
guys
right,
all
hold
ready?
on. I'm good.
All right, here we go.
But actually, you don't have the camera over my desk, so I could be doing whatever I want to do, and you would never even know.
You could have done it yesterday.
I should have.
You could have like a whole team of people under your table, like Julia Child.
Yeah. Oh, but I didn't know what we were going to draw.
Oh, that's
So
true. Well, this could all be faked. I don't know.
I don't know. I think you could trust both of us. You know, if we're going to go to the trouble to fake this, I think we would have had a much nicer outcome so far. I don't think we'd be faking this. This is not this. The flow is too slow on these pens, and this is not working out as well as I thought it would. It
Well,
would
you've
be
learned
honest.
something.
I have. The flow is too slow.
Interesting. Okay. I have so much kind of pigment on the page now that I can just do everything with a wet brush, and
Right.
it's all kind of working out.
I'm jumping around from gourd to gourd because I don't want to have any. I don't want to have a gourd that just has one medium on it because then it's not going to be cohesive.
That's true.
So I'm jumping around a lot.
This does feel like a competitive sport. They should do this in the Olympics.
Oh yeah.
Don't you think?
That
Art
would be
supply
my one
relay?
chance to be sporty at something. I could do that.
Yeah. We could have like Nike could make us special smocks to wear.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
Special athletic headgear. Safety goggles. Damn.
All right. Actually, it wasn't too bad. I think it's helped a little bit.
Okay, I'm gonna have to switch again.
I'm gonna go with the Derwent metallic paints, I think. If I can.
I might.
That's a pass.
Do you clean up as you go, or do you just pile it on?
I'm piling. I've got a huge pile here. I'm stacking.
Are ChromaFlows water-based? No, they're not. They're fine.
Yeah, they're wax based. They'll layer up.
All right.
Oh my gosh, I need to wet these paints though, or they are not gonna work. Okay.
Okay, here we go. Deep breath. Go.
I wish I pre-activated these because they are not gonna really pack a punch unless I pre-activate them. But this wet brush with my metallic paints can help activate some of the blocks from earlier. So
I found that when I was using the watercolor markers just now, it didn't really activate it. I mean, they added so much additional color that it didn't really help.
did you have real brush pens or were they felt tip?
No, they're not. I think they have a real brush, don't they? I don't know. Maybe not.
Are they like bristly, or like
No, they're
like
flat.
a rubbery or
They're
foamy?
flat. They're flat. So, but
Huh.
I'll have to have a look after. But
Are they filled with ink? So they're like a flat pen that's filled with ink, but they have bristles?
They're watercolor. They're
Who makes
watercolor.
them?
Winsor Newton.
Wait, you mean the watercolor markers?
Yes.
Oh yeah, no, they're like a felt tip brush tip.
Yes.
Like the
You're
ones
right. They're
I
not
have
a
are
brush.
just
They're not a
bristles.
brush. You're right.
Yeah, I like those though. I have some of those. Those are nice.
I really like them. I use them a lot.
I like that they're light fast and they blend really well.
"20 seconds."
I feel like 20 seconds is all the time in the world now that like we've been doing these.
Oh, really? It's a leisure. You'd be taking a leisurely stroll.
Yeah. Ooh, maybe do a little bit.
Well, the cool thing is, as you do this, is you start getting a lot of layers. You know, that's what's cool about it is the layering, and that's when it starts to take on a new quality.
Oh, I have such a pile here.
Right, I'm starting to get them all over my hands too. So, okay, I think I was tempted to cheat and just say I'm going to keep going with the same thing, but I'm not allowed to.
Don't be a cheater. Come on, you're supposed to be a role model for these people that are watching.
You know, I'm a terrible role model in all things.
You're a cautionary tale, Danny.
You know what? Actually, semi-cheating. I'm just going to switch to another colored pencil. No, that's really cheating.
I didn't even see what you used the last time because I was so focused on my situation here.
I use Pro Color.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay, I'm going with another kind of color pencil. To hell with it. All right,
Pastels for me.
here we go.
Okay. Oh, my paper is still wet. I don't know if the pastels are going to work too well for this.
What?
Give a break.
Give a break.
Going so fast.
My wife just stuck her head in to tell us, give a break. All right, we'll take a break after this. We'll take a break.
Hi, JJ.
Yes. She's right. She's right. We're completely exhausting ourselves. But it's a marathon. Well, it's not, it's a relay.
Or anything.
It's interesting that we're doing this marathon, drawathon, and we're doing a relay. It's kind of like it's like a whole track and field event at sketchbook school, or
Yeah, it totally should be in the Olympics.
maybe it should be like a pentathlon. That would be interesting.
Mm. What would you call it? You wouldn't be an iron. It wouldn't be like an
Oh,
Iron Man. It would
that's
be
interesting. Yeah, like an
iron
iron pen.
iron pen. I like
There you go.
that.
There we go. So
Okay,
yeah,
the
so we could have
pastel.
a whole pentathlon where you have to like draw a nude, and then you have to do a watercolor of some flowers, and then you have to I don't know, paint a chapel ceiling, and you have to carve a sculpture out of marble.
The little warts on the gourds are very difficult to render in like a quick time.
Particularly when you have all these layers under them, right? That's what I'm finding.
Or just not being able to take the time to um
To just do
ah
to do ports. Okay, let's take a. Oh, man, that's coming along really nicely, and
thank you.
your color palette is really nice. It's kind of much more much more kind of controlled than mine is. Mine is sort of.
Oh, I like that. I like the complementary colors, the blue and the orange.
I wish
Looks
I
nice.
wish that had been intentional, but there's very little time for thinking when you're running a relay.
Yeah. While we're breaking, I'm drying this, I think.
So, what's your favorite thing to use these days?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I want to because right now we are in peak foliage season. So, and I got this new tray for my French easel. For my French easel, I don't use it very often because it's really heavy, and I usually plein air watercolor, and I use the portable painter. But I usually have oils in my French easel. But I bought this wooden insert for it that does pastels, and but it was just three big open drawers or three big open sections that are wood. And I bought some Sennelier pastels, and the foam that the pastels come in fit perfectly in the drawer. So I cut the little top sheet down so it fits over them, and I think I'm going to put these pastels here in there because they're a little firmer and they'll do better if I want to do something like soup to nuts with one product. And I want to load my French easel up with those pastels and go down to a local fishway that has some really pretty scenery and paint. I'm hoping this afternoon because the peak foliage, it's 70 degrees out. It's just gorgeous weather, sunny. So so I've been using pastels a lot. That's what I'm excited to use today. But man, a different day, a different medium, I think. I'm always
I
bouncing.
didn't know that it ever got to be 70 degrees in Maine.
Oh yeah, the summers are gorgeous, but usually it's been getting chilly. The summers we can get up in the 80s. Sometimes we see 90s. But
We call it
but
getting down to the 80s.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Sometimes
um,
we'll have a heat wave, but not very often.
so if I
What
wanted to
about you?
start with pastels, pastels always kind of bug me because I remember them from like when I was a kid and I used to use pastels, and you end up getting a lot of like blending one to the other, and it just felt like a big mess. And particularly then it starts to smear all over the place, and you get it on your hands as you're doing, and then you get it on other pages of your sketchbook. I think Renoir, and I don't really have any other feelings about pastels beyond that. So can you tell me how to get into it?
Well, if you don't like the feeling on your hands, that's going to be a huge barrier. But there's a product called Pan Pastel, which are like these little, I don't have any in here, they're in the other room, but they're these little cakes of pastel. Think of like a compressed eyeshadow, and you apply them with like applicators that are like palette knives with little foamy socks that go on them. And that way you can keep your hands completely clean and still get the pastel look. And they're very low dust. But I love getting my hands filthy with pastels. I think it's a lot of fun. And I think because I started younger, before you kind of have those want to stay clean sensory issues, it's never bothered me. I just have a like a wet rag or a baby wipe or something that I can wipe my hands on
Because
when
I'm
they
very
get like,
meticulous. I actually usually just wear head to toe white, and
uh,
I never. I
I
pride myself on not joking. It's a complete
know.
mess all the time. But yes, maybe I'll try it. I don't know. I'm also worried about it just smearing on the page, and I don't know. It's like charcoal in that way.
You can use a fixative, but what I usually do if I'm using it in a sketchbook is I just tape a piece of deli paper in there just to keep it from rubbing onto the facing page, and it's fine. I don't like to use fixative because it alters the colors too much. Um, but I mean, you can definitely do that.
Hey, I'm seeing in the chat that some people, there's some in every class who just don't listen to instructions. And what they've been doing is doing different drawings of the gourds each time. Because that's actually, we often do that. We often will do a drawing for 2 minutes, switch to another thing. So that's fine. If that's what you're doing, that's cool too. Lindsay and I are just working on the same tortured, overly layered, overworked piece. And if you might have a dozen fresh little pieces. All right, we've taken a break. We're jumping back into it. Here we go.
All right, I'm going to use Derwent drawing pencils, which are a gorgeous, soft, thick lead pencil. And hopefully I can get some warts back in my gourds because they're looking a little too smooth.
I'm going to use these Lightfast. I haven't really used Lightfast pencil. They were tested here in Arizona. Did you know that? They were tested.
And they do most of their Lightfast. ASTM does all their Lightfast testing in Arizona and Florida, I think, right?
Yeah, I live in Arizona, so that's why I care. But they will last for 100 years.
They're my favorite Derwent pencil, honestly.
Really?
Oh, I love them.
Yeah, they're pretty creamy. They're pretty creamy. Are they waxy? No.
I think they're technically oil-based, but they definitely feel a little more waxy. And what I like about them is how they mix together. You don't have to layer a bunch up. You can almost you can layer them up and then they merge. It's not like thin layers of precise layers like a lot of oil-based pencils are. They have a lot more painterliness to them. I think that's why I really get on with them because they're very intuitive.
They have good coverage too.
Yes. They're so gorgeous.
Yeah, they're covering nicely. Yeah, I'm trying to get into doing those warts and lumps now.
Yeah, me too.
Oh yeah, this pencil is really good actually. It's really, really bold. Can you see how it's just covers over everything really nicely? Damn it, I was having fun doing that. It's kind of annoying because you find something that's good. Yeah. You see?
Right. I got some of the warts in. I'm not sure if that's going okay. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I got some warts.
I can see the warts definitely at the bottom. I mean, I'm getting a bit warty.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I don't know what I'm going to use next.
Running out of art supplies. Never thought that would happen.
I'm gonna go to Conte because I have a little thing of Conte right here.
All right, this is kind of scary. I'm using metallic.
All
right, this is
paints or pencils or markers.
Pencils. These Derwent metallic pencils.
Oh, nice.
Let's see what happens. Here we go. Gosh, where do I even start with these things? Okay. This could be like a whole new school of art. I guess it's called mixed media. It's not really a new school. I didn't invent it.
I think this is excellent for warming up.
Yeah, and just trying out different things and seeing the differences between them and how they work with each other. It's kind of cool.
Right.
Plus, you burn through a lot of art supplies really quickly. So.
But you're only using them for 2 minutes each, so I don't think you're going to run out of anything anytime soon. At least I'm not going to.
No, but it's like getting them out and getting them aired out, you know? It's kind of like, it's like having a really nice old car that you keep in the garage under a dust thing, and like once every 3 months you take it out on a Sunday. It's the opportunity to get these guys, get the juices flowing in these pencils.
Yep. Got to knock the rust off of them.
Right, exactly.
I'm working on stems. Stems are this 2 minutes.
Oh, that's a good idea. To be more. So you're gonna have all your stems in the same medium then.
I think I'm going to start that way anyway.
And stems are kind of a different medium than the rest of the gourd, so it's not unheard of.
I just heard this noise. We're getting oil delivered today. I can hear the oil man filling up the oil tank because my studio's in the basement and the oil tank's in the basement.
That's like getting a gold shipment.
Oh my word, it's crazy. I don't even want to know. I don't want to know what the bill is.
Yep.
Scary.
All right. All right, those metallics were a little...
Oh.
Yeah, so now the changes are much more gradual. Yeah, but that I really like that lower gourd with the way that you use the white. That's really nice too. But yeah, the stems are making it sharper and making it more clear what they are, what these things are. How about graphitint?
Oh, that's good. I don't know what I'm going to use next. Can I do a different kind of pencil? Or I could do gouache, but I don't know if I can get it up. Let me see if I can get my gouache open.
So you introduced me to my new favorite kind of thing. Yes, exactly. Those are fun. Those are fun. Okay.
Oh, I don't know about this, but I don't know what I can do in 2 minutes with gouache, but I'm going to try.
You can put on some white highlights.
Yes, I can.
All right, here we go. Is anybody keeping track of how many we've done?
I have no idea, and I'm living it.
Yeah, living it.
Living the dream, baby.
Living that art supply dream. So this graphitint can be activated with water. I'm pretending that doesn't constitute a separate medium, the water. So.
Well, are you using the graphitint? You're using the pencils.
Yeah.
Or the pan paints. The pencils. I like their
Pencils.
The pan paints are. I prefer the pan paints and the graphitint as well.
I don't have any pan paints really.
Oh, I really like the pan paint range. Actually, that's what I'm doing a class for them later on tonight on those.
The exception actually is we did this class with Jedediah Doré, and he worked with Derwin on this type of pan that has lots of different kinds of paint in it. Not only different colors, but different kinds. I forget what it's called. The sketch and
line and wash, maybe?
Line and wash, exactly. Yeah, line and wash. So that has graphitint. It has Inktense. His pastels.
I met Jedediah. We taught for Derwent in New York in March.
He's the best. We just love him.
He's really nice. Yeah.
He teaches for us in Spark like every couple weeks.
No fun.
Urban sketching, yeah. We're talking to him about doing a new workshop too. All right, one more. Should we do one more?
One more?
You think you
I
can
feel like
fit?
I need at least 3 more.
All right,
I don't know. This is such a mess. I don't know what I'm going to do.
It's now 9:45, so we could do. Let's do 3 more. Let's do 3 more. You know what I'm going? I'm going in the complete opposite direction. I'm going fineliner.
Fineliner. I think I will ruin a fineliner if I use it over the stuff I've already used.
I have lots of fineliners. I'm willing to ruin one. But you do you. What are you going to do? How about
crayon? I'm going to use crayon.
There you go. I like it.
I got
Crayon.
crayons. I'm going to use. I've never used these before. I'm going to use these Crayola. Peel back like they're like China markers. I'm going to use those.
Really? That sounds like a cool product.
Yeah. We'll see, won't we? I bought them a while ago and I haven't really used them, so we'll see if they're a cool product or not.
All right, here we go. You got 2 minutes to find out. Man.
Okay.
Well, now I'm regretting remember when I was like, oh, let's reduce it to 2 minutes. Well, that was a mistake because I would like to have much more than 2 minutes with a lot of these
I
things.
know. I know. I think it should have been staggered. It should have been staggered. We should have started off with short times and then gone to longer times.
But it's still kind of random. So it's not like you could say, all right, I'm definitely going to need 2 minutes with watercolor, but I'm going to need like 15 minutes with, oh yeah, you're right about the Fineliner. It's just not really happy.
Crayola's color palette leaves something to be desired.
I'm not surprised.
This green is not as natural as I was hoping. Maybe I'll stick to an
Fineliners
apple.
are not happy, particularly on top of all this other stuff.
No. Yeah, I've ruined so many fine liners not like taking the time to let something dry or trying to work over something I shouldn't have, like a water base, like a water reactable product, like a watercolor crayon or a watercolor pencil.
Yeah, it just isn't happy. I was tempted to grab a Pentel ink brush,
Oh yeah.
but that's a heavy tool. That's a large caliber instrument. But it might be what I need. Oh, I know what I could do.
Well, wait. Well, how many more are we gonna do? Because I know what I'm gonna do for my next one.
We got 2 more after this.
Okay, perfect. Perfect.
2 more.
Yeah, I have no control with these things. I'm just like,
Yeah, this is a disaster too for me. So, all right. Live and learn. Okay.
I cannot get in the middle of the camera for whatever reason.
That
We're
looks
getting
great.
it. It's okay.
Where show me where you put them? Where did you put the Crayolas?
I did like those bright green there. I used some black on some of the stems. I just kind of
okay.
squiggled out some warts.
It's all right.
All right, get in front of the camera. There we go.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to this Pentel brush liner. Fine, what's it called? Sign pen brush micro brush. Have you ever tried
All right,
these
I'm gonna
micro
go-
brushes? They're like
Look it up. I don't think I have. I don't think I've used those.
see that?
Oh, where are we going? I'm using Stabilo Woodies.
Oh, those are nice. Yeah, that's a bold color.
Yeah, and I need to be able to lay down some color because we need to kick this into high gear.
If we do this pentathlon, we should do it like in an art supply store,
Ooh, yeah, that would be fun.
right? Where the whistle blows and you have to go into any given aisle and use whatever's there.
Like supermarket sweep or something.
Yeah, they should make like a game show like that,
Yeah.
right? Like
Get
Survivor or something like
HGTV
that.
on that. Yeah.
But you have to use art supplies.
HGTV or
Yeah,
like the Great Pottery Throwdown. I finally checked that out. That's pretty fun.
yeah, we've seen that one. There's also there's a glass blowing one, and
Oh,
there's
fun.
there's actually one where they make knives.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, there's different kinds of crafts one. But there was at one point an art kind of competition event. It was kind of like Project Runway, but for art.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, it was kind of what you could imagine. It didn't redefine art as we know it. Didn't even redefine television as we know it.
I am like coloring so hard, my whole table is shaking.
But aren't those things like fairly creamy?
They are, but I'm trying to like add more black in the background to kind of give it a little bit of contrast because
see.
I'm feeling that I just have a big jumble and I need to create some order here.
All right. Last one.
What to pick? What haven't I used? I feel like I've used all the things.
I think I'm going to go with Ecoline markers. Could be a disaster.
Oh yeah, you might ruin your markers.
Because they'll be pulling up all that stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Oh shoot, I want something pointy. Oh, you know what? Do I have what's this? Oh, I'm gonna use the Derwent pastel watercolors because I've got a lot of darks here, and I think if I use the pastels, it will be these right here. I think
Well,
it'll show
those
up.
can you will you see those sitting on top of all that stuff?
Yeah, they're opaque, so I think they'll be fine.
Oh, so they're really like a gouache then?
They're pretty close to a wash.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see how it does. I mean,
I just discovered I have
I don't
two
know.
boxes of the same graphitint, but they have different packaging, so they must be from like different eras.
Probably.
And, like I just pulled them out of the bottom of the pencil unit.
So, do you want to still give us 2 minutes for this, or you want to give us more time
No,
to
two
finish it
minutes.
up?
2 minutes, because we're almost the show is almost over. All right,
Okay.
to I'm going back to my a different colored pro marker. All right, here we go.
All right.
So let's just briefly talk about your workshop. Why not?
Okay.
Are you excited about it?
I'm very excited. I'm very excited. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun,
Yeah, me too.
and yeah, I don't have to worry too much because
We've done it already.
we've pre-recorded all the content, so it's just showing up live and helping students
Yeah, answering
and yeah,
questions and stuff like that.
answering questions and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think it's what's cool about it. I think is really cool is that we get to make three things in one
Right.
work, three completed paintings, and they're really nice. I mean, they're the kind of things you could hang up probably, right?
It's not like this garbage we're doing today, I'll tell you that much.
Hey, speak for yourself. Mine is a masterpiece.
Okay, so what's the garbage I'm doing here?
Yes, no, there's no garbage. It's not. It's called yummy colors, not taking out the trash. But but the color effects are really cool, though. I mean, I think the opportunity to. I mean, we always want color to be brighter. At least I do. You know, that's why I've
Right.
been using my iPad so much because there you're basically it's like stained glass working with an iPad. You know, because you get light coming through your color, so you get really intense effects. But this is your workshop; it's doing it on paper. So
Right. Traditional media.
yeah,
Yeah, and I think layering up is such a freeing thing. You get to use you have the best of all worlds. You have the best attributes. Oh, darn it. I am not done with this. I want to keep working on it.
the relay
This is
continues.
frustrating. I like what's happening because I started to get some
Oh,
actual form in here, but is it in front of I can't tell if it's in front of the camera or not.
yeah,
But I don't have enough time. I need more time.
yeah. I mean, I was struggling to try and get depth too by putting in more and more darkness around it because
Yeah.
that the picture is it's a nice picture. It has that inky black background.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
Well,
gonna keep
this
working.
okay. You
I'm
can
gonna
keep
finish
working.
mine.
This was really fun. It was fun to do it with another person at the same time,
Yeah.
and kind of high energy. So, all right. Well, we will see you in 9 days at the
Yeah.
workshop.
Yeah.
So yes. So and we will be using a bunch of different kinds of cool media in that too,
Mhm.
and we'll be making some yummy desserts because we're going to be painting strawberry cheesecake and it's like kind of like Reese's cups, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And what's the
Yeah.
third
Stacked
one?
up with
The third one
gooey.
is a cherry.
Then there is like a cake with sprinkles and cherries
Right.
and fluffy frosting and
Yeah, so it's different textures, which is part of what it is. Not only bright colors, but it's also like how do you represent the different textures that you find in these things? Because I felt like I learned stuff from it. I don't know how many desserts I'm going to draw, but I
Mhm.
learned stuff from it that is applicable to lots of different things. So that was really cool. So, all right, good.
Cool.
Well, Lindsay, thank you so much. I think you should just be a regular on Draw with Me. I think we should just do this every Thursday and we can have fun.
That would be fun. That would be totally fun.
All right, cool. Thanks again. Thanks for joining me. And let me just sign off with a few final announcements. And I'll see you at the workshop.
All right. Sounds good.
Thanks again. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. So we have a bunch of things, as I said, coming up. We've got the Yummy Color. You can still sign up for it. We've got the Drawathon on Saturday. If you want information about it, write to us at info@sketchbookschool.com. Don't use your mailing address. We don't need your mailing address. We're not going to mail you information. There's no time. We want to see your relay. Let's see your gourds. So share it on Instagram or on Facebook or in the schoolyard and tag it, hashtag SBS Draw with Me. And then next week we will have a massive parade of gourds, the annual gourd. What would you call it? A gourd walkathon. Anyway, we'll have a bunch of gourds appearing at the beginning of next week's show. The Art for All podcast, you can hear Lindsay and me talk for another hour if you'd like, while you continue working on your relay. Danny'sEssays.com. I got a new one coming out tomorrow. And of course, subscribe to this channel. Thank you guys. And thanks for being here today. And thank you, Lindsay, again, for being here and for doing this incredible workshop. See you soon. Bye.